All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack the Challenger sale, a framework that's all about dominating in today's B2B world, where, let's face it, the buyer holds all the cards.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll define what the Challenger sale actually is. Then we'll dive deep into its three pillars: teach, tailor, and take control. And finally, we'll get practical with a playbook on how you can actually execute this model.
Okay, so first things first. To really get why the Challenger model is so powerful, you have to understand what's happening in B2B sales right now. We need to talk about why this isn't just a nice-to-have strategy anymore. Honestly, it's about survival.
Okay, look at this number. 70%. This changes everything. Think about what this means. 70% of the buyer's journey is done, finished, before they even pick up the phone to call you. Your customers, they've done their homework. They're informed, they're prepared, and frankly, they're skeptical. Your old sales playbook, it's pretty much useless now.
And this is exactly the problem that Matthew Dixon and Brent Adamson set out to solve. They saw this self-educated buyer coming a mile away. So they created the Challenger sale to completely flip the script, to move away from just being friends with your clients and toward what they call insight-led commercial dominance. Sounds intense, right? Well, it is.
At its heart, this is a total mindset shift. You're not a salesperson anymore. You're a doctor of selling. Seriously, think about that. When you go to a doctor, they don't just ask you what medicine you want, right? No, they ask questions, they diagnose the real problem, sometimes one you didn't even know you had, and then they prescribe a solution. That's the Challenger.
Okay, that brings us to the first pillar, teach. This is where you really start to pull away from your competition. It's not about shouting the loudest. It's about breaking through all that noise by being smarter, by offering a perspective that nobody else is.
And look, when we say teach, we don't mean rattling off a list of product features. That's a huge mistake. This is about completely reframing how their customer sees their own business. You start by giving them a powerful insight that makes them go, "Huh, I never thought of it that way," an aha moment. From there, you position yourself as the expert, and then you give them the tools, like an ROI calculator or an implementation guide, to help them sell the idea internally. See the difference? You're not just selling anymore, you're making it easy for them to buy. All right, pillar number 2, tailor. And this one is so important, because let's be real. In B2B, you're almost never selling to just one person. You're facing a whole committee, sometimes 6, 7, maybe even 10 different people. And every single one of them has their own priorities, their own concerns, their own secret agenda.
So, tailoring effectively means you have to speak everyone's language. Your message has to resonate with the tech folks in IT, the budget holders in finance, and the people on the ground in operations. It's about personalizing the same core story for each of them. And don't forget procurement. You've got to hit them with clear pricing and solid ROI projections. Make their job easy, and you build instant trust.
And this quote from Rory Sutherland just nails it. It's psychological. Tailoring isn't just about tweaking a PowerPoint slide. It's about making people feel something. You want them to feel understood. You want them to feel confident, in control. When you achieve that, you've won.
Okay, on to our third and final pillar, take control. Now, this is the one everybody gets wrong. The word control sounds aggressive, right? But this isn't about being a pushy, old-school salesperson. Not at all. It's about being assertive. It's about being a confident guide who keeps the deal moving forward and removes any roadblocks along the way.
So how do you do it? Well, a couple of key ways. First, you control the conversation by asking smart questions. The person asking the questions is always in the driver's seat. Second, you have to be super proactive. Always set clear next steps so the deal never loses momentum. And a really powerful one, reverse the risk. Offer strong guarantees that take the fear out of the equation for the buyer. It shows incredible confidence.
And this Brian Tracy quote is perfect. Telling is not selling. It's so true. You don't take control by talking at people. You take control by leading them through a thoughtful, strategic conversation driven by your questions.
So there you have it, the 3 pillars: teach, tailor, and take control. But theory is one thing, right? Let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually put this stuff into practice? Let's build the playbook.
This chart really says it all. It shows the massive shift in thinking. On one side, you've got the old way, pushing products, talking at people. On the other, the Challenger way. It's all about serving, about creating solutions with your customer.
You're moving from a simple funnel to a momentum-building flywheel. And your role? It changes completely. You're no longer just a buddy. You are an advisor, a teacher, a guide.
Okay, you want concrete steps? Here are 4 you can start with. 1. Map the customer's decision path. But don't just track the steps, understand the why behind each one. 2. Get sales and marketing on the same team. Seriously, shared goals, shared KPIs. 3. Use digital sales rooms. Put all your documents, demos, and calculators in one central place. Make it dead simple for them to buy. And 4, I love this one, the 20-idea method. Every single day, come up with 20 ideas to double your value for a client. It's a workout for your brain and will make you an idea machine.
Now, knowing what to do is great, but knowing the traps to avoid is just as crucial. So, watch out for these mistakes. First, no feature dumping. You're a problem solver, not a walking spec sheet. Second, don't try to close too early. You have to educate and build trust first. And third, please never use a one-size-fits-all pitch. The person holding the purse strings cares about different things than the person who has to implement the solution. You have to know the difference. And look, this stuff works in the real world. This isn't just academic theory. Take a company like Living Optics. They nailed the teach pillar by building out their entire strategic message before they spent a dime on creative. Or look at Rod Radar. They use things like ROI calculators, which is a perfect example of using decision content to take control of the sale. And of course, there's Salesforce. Pardot is basically the teach pillar on autopilot, building authority and educating leads at massive scale.
You know, at the end of the day, this is about something bigger than just a sales technique. Seth Godin puts it perfectly. It's about making change happen. It's a whole philosophy, really. It's about guiding your customers to a genuinely better place and doing work that actually means something.
And that's the whole ball game. The Challenger model is really just the ultimate execution of what Peter Drucker said ages ago. It's about knowing your customer so incredibly well, not just what they say they need, but what they're secretly afraid of, that your product or service isn't just a choice, it becomes the only logical, obvious answer.